Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
I hope you have enjoyed your unseasonably warm day as we settle into a hopefully slightly cooler space for us to be able to welcome Shabbat together and for us to begin the celebrations of Miss Abby Hay, as Abby will become Bat Mitzvah tomorrow. And we are thrilled to have you as part of our service tonight to help us lead the service and to help us settle in and really open ourselves up to welcoming Shabbat into our space and into our hearts. And so as we get started, I want to invite everyone to turn to page 4 in their Siddur. And I would like to invite your parents and your brother to come on up and join you over here, if you wouldn't mind, to join us in, or to lead us in lighting our Shabbat candles as we bring a little bit more light into our space and hopefully into the world. And hopefully someone can light matches. Amen. All right, Abby, I'm going to have you join Cantor Benjamin over there, and you all may return to your seats. And we turn to page 5 as Abby leads us in the words of Shalom Aleichem. And as we say this blessing, we are reminded that we learn that every week we welcome an additional soul into our bodies and perhaps some angels into our midst. And so on this particular weekend, we welcome all of you into our community from near and from far. And as our prayer says, we hope that you have all traveled here in peace, that you will be blessed while you are here, and that you will also shower the Hay family with blessings as well, and that when the time comes to say farewell, that you will be blessed in your journey until you meet again. Shalom Aleichem. Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Halachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Halachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Abby. We turn to page 10 and continue with Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh, Avarachaman, Mishoch Avdach, Eretz Sonach, Yarutz Avdach, Kimo Ayah, Ishtachaveh. we're now moving through the section of our service known as Kabbalat Shabbat, which invites us to ready ourselves to receive Shabbat. That is what Kabbalat Shabbat means, to receive Shabbat. And so it's a reminder that it is true that on the one hand, Shabbat will just come, ready or not, here it comes, time changes, evening comes, and then Shabbat will be upon us. But there's something special about getting ready for something exciting to happen. So just as Abby is not going to just hop up on the bima and poof, just like become bat mitzvah, there's been a lot of preparation, right, to get ready for this day. We're supposed to kind of anticipate exciting things that are happening and then kind of ready ourselves to receive them. And so that's what we learn for Shabbat every week. And so we might ready ourselves by thinking about Shabbat dinner or time with friends or something special that we might want to do during that time. And we can ready ourselves also with this little extra part of the service, this little extra time that we have to just kind of sit, to just be, which is not something that we're very good at, I think, in our society anymore. We're often running from one thing to the next and always mindful of what else we need to do. So as we move into Shabbat, just allow ourselves a moment to take a breath. To allow yourself to experience a little bit of that peace of Shabbat, and also to really notice where you have been this week. Consider the time since last Shabbat up until now. Notice all of the times that have been particularly exciting or joyful or moments that you're grateful for that you want to carry with you into Shabbat. And you can notice the times that maybe you want to let go of, and that's good too. But every Friday we have an opportunity to kind of take stock of where we are, to give our appreciation for all that has been good, and maybe even if you're moved to share with us some of the exciting things that are going on in your life, then we get to share in that joy with you. So as you think back on your week, from Sunday until now, anything particularly awesome that you want to share with the rest of us so that we can also experience a little of that joy right now? Just don't all talk at once. Okay.
Well, even though we didn't know it was going to happen yesterday, Abby ran her first track meet and placed third in her heat.
Mazal tov! That's super exciting. Yeah, Abby.
I'm becoming a bat mitzvah.
That's kind of exciting to become a bat mitzvah, maybe a little bit of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. So yeah, hold on to that. It's been a good week. You went from singing at softball to track to here. So we're kind of like got all the facets of Abby covered in the week. It's good. Anything else? Well, I will share that in my family, we have celebrated 2 birthdays. On Sunday was my older daughter's 10th birthday, and today is my younger daughter's 6th birthday. So there has been a lot of cake, a lot of presents, a lot of mess from all the presents, but also just a lot of fun. So it's really exciting to see their joy, and I'm definitely taking that into Shabbat and holding on to that as well. So I invite you to continue to consider this question as we move through a Kabbalat Shabbat and as we move through the service, to really allow yourselves to appreciate all the goodness from your week. And even if you share it with someone after or just hold it for yourself, it's nice to kind of have this rhythm of Shabbat so that every week, maybe as we light candles or as we come home from work or whatever it is, to just take a moment to breathe and to appreciate all the goodness that we have in our lives. So we'll continue together on page 14 at the red arrow.
ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותעיה הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותעיה הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים, ומלוא ירם הים, ירם הים,
ahead now to page 23, and I invite Abby to come back to the bima to help lead us in Lecha Dodi. Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem v'tiferet l'tila. Lecha,
Lecha,
dodi,
Dodi, Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi mekor habracha, Mehirosh mikedem nisucha, Sof maaseh b'machshava tefila.
lecha,
Lecha,
dodi,
Dodi, Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, Kum mitzvahim mitocha hafecha, Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha, Vehu yachmo alaychem la.
lecha,
Lecha,
dodi,
Dodi, Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
yamin. You turn to page 25. Second verse. Go ahead. You're good.
Usmoti frotzi, V'et Adonai taritzi, Ayad ish ben partzi, V'nismecha v'nagila.
Lecha,
Lecha,
dodi,
Dodi, Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We rise and face the door as we symbolically welcome our Sabbath Queen.
V'shalom ateret ba'ala, Gam b'simcha u'tohola, Toch emunei am segula, Bo'i chala, bo'i chala.
Lecha,
Lecha,
dodi,
Dodi, Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. We turn to page 27. Thank you, Abby, for the Psalm for Shabbat.
Mizmor shel Yom Shabbat, Tolod Adonai, Lo Zamar Shemcha Yelo Yibuz Zekav
We pick up together on page 28 at the red arrow.
Tzadikat Hamar Yifrach, Ke'erez Bavanun, Yizkeh Shetulim, B'veit Adonai, B'chatrot Eloheinu, Yafrichu, Odinu Vun Miseva, Deshenim Verananim, Yiyun Lehayid, Ki Yashar Adonai, Tzuri Tzuri. Avlatabo.
We turn to page 39, and I invite you to rise again as we come together for the Baruch Hu, as we now more officially move into our evening service.
Baruchu et Adonai havorach.
Baruch Adonai Havorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai havorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Adonai Shalomim b'teichon shmorim. ומעביר יום ובין לילה, מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
Amen. We continue on the top of page 40.
אהבת עולם את ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך, לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ויארך ימינו, ויארך ימינו, ובהם נהיה יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה, ביבתך, עד אסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך את אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen. We continue on the top of page 41, and Abby will return to the bima to help lead us in Shema via Hafta. Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shekhu Malchus V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miodecha v'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידך והיו לטודפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
Continue silently on page 42.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
We turn ahead to page 44 at the top of the page as we move into the words of Micha Mocha, a reminder in our liturgy every day to be grateful for the freedoms that we have, to remember the miracle that occurred when the Israelites were freed from slavery, and God willing to inspire us to continue to help work to make sure that all people in the world can be free.
וברכותיו רצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים בני ישראל לכל אשר בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא נהילו דוסי תהלה מלכותך רובנך בקיים לפני משה זלו ויאמרו Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar kivada Adonai et Yaakov u'golo miyad chazak mimenu baruch Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Amen. We turn to the top of page 45 for Hashkivenu, which is our evening prayer for peace and protection. We ask God to spread out a canopy of peace over us and over all the world. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. And as we sing these words, 3 lines from the bottom in the Hebrew or in the transliteration, I invite you to hold in your mind and in your hearts all of those who might be in need of a little extra peace and protection in this moment. Maybe it's those who are nearby who might be suffering in some way, and maybe it's those who are on the other side of the globe who are also in great need of peace and protection. We send our prayers to every corner of the earth, to Israel, to Jerusalem, and I invite you to hold all of that in your mind and all of that in your heart as we sing these words together.
Ufros aleinu sukat, sukat, shelomecha, ufros aleinu sukat, sukat, shelomecha, Baruch Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. We turn to the top of page 46, and we invite Abby back up to the bima to help lead us in Vishamru.
Vishamru
Bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
ביום אדירה קירותי וימליך מלכותי.
בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב.
ויאמרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, ויעלם לימי עמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשה
ברכו.
לאלו מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירה הנעמה.
ויאמרו
Amen. We turn to page 47, and I invite you to rise, if you're comfortable and able to do so, for our evening Amidah. And in the evening, our Amidah is recited silently. And so I will invite you to move at your own pace from page 47 to 52, either with the words in Hebrew or in English, or some of the poetry or commentary around the side, or simply to take a quiet moment for yourselves. We also add the words for Rosh Chodesh on page 50.
Say shalom Yimromav, Oy say shalom Aleinu, V'yako Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom Aleinu, V'yako Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom Aleinu, V'yako Yisrael. Amen.
Now that you've all gotten comfortable again, I'm going to ask you to rise again as we turn to page 53 for our repetition of the Amidah for Friday night. Vayahulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi Melachto asher asa Vayishbot bayom hashvi Mikol melachto asher asa Vayavarach Elohim et yom hashvi Vayakadesh oto Ki bo Shabbat mikol melachto Asher bara Elohim la'asot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Kodei Shamayim v'Haaretz
Magin avod bidvaro Mechaye metim me'amaro Ha'el HaKadosh she'ein kamohu Hameniach li'amo B'yom Shabbat kodsho Ki vam ratza lehaniach lahem Ki vam ratza lehaniach lahem Lefanav navod v'yira v'pachad V'nodeh lishmo b'chol yom tamid Me'on habrachot El haodaot Adon hashalom Mekadesh hashabbat Umvorech shevit Umeniach b'kedusha La'amedu shnei oneg Zecher Lema'aseh V'Reishit. Page 54. Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu Ritzei V'Imnuchatenu Kachenu B'Mitzvotecha V'Ten Chelkenu B'Toratecha Sabeinu Mituvecha V'Samchenu B'Shuatecha V'Taher Libeinu Li'avdecha Be'emet V'Hachilenu Adonai Eloheinu B'Ahava Uratzon Shabbat Kodechecha B'Yanuchu V'Yisrael Mikadshei Shemecha Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Yigeravi Rashmi Rabba, Biamani Vrakartevian Lichmachutevachai, Chorbiamachon of Kaidko Bay Israel, Bagalaz Bagari Vimru. Amen. Yaheshme Rabba Mevarach, Le'alam Le'amei Amaya Yitbarach. Yitbarach Vishtabach Mitbar Arbitrary Milasevich, Arbitralavich Lashmi, Rusha Brichu. Li'elam Mikol Bechata Visharat, Tushbechata Vinachamata Dami, Rami Amavimru. Amen. Tika Batzlod Honu, Uveyotakunduko Israel, Kodam, Avahonu Vishmai Vimru. Amen. Yehesh Lama Rabba Michamaya, Vachayim Alina Vyoko Israel Vimru. Amen. Ose Shalom Ramav, Yese Shalom, Alevoko Israel, Kodesh Vedevel Vimru. Amen.
We invite Abby back up to the bima as we turn to page 55 for Kiddush. And you're using your very own Kiddush cup today, is that right? Beautiful. Thank you for bringing that and to make that a part of our service. You can head on over to Cantor Benjamin.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Barei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu
Zikaron Lema'aseh Bereshit. Hihu Yom Techila Lamikra Kodesh. Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim. Hivanu V'acharta Yotanu Kidashta Mikohamim V'Shabbat Kodechecha Yahava Uratzon in Hatanu Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
Yes. Now.
You may be seated. So we turn now to page 63, as we are currently in a period known as Counting the Omer, which is counting the days from the second night of Passover. You may have done this as a part of your Passover Seder if you finished on till the end after the meal, which not everyone always has time to do. But we start counting on the second night of the Seder, and then we count all the way through to Shavuot. So it's 7 weeks, which means 7 weeks and 7 days in a week is 49 days. And then the 50th day is when we get to Shavuot. And so we count each of these days as a reminder. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we can say about these days. One, I will say, is that it's a reminder that the liberation that we experienced and that at once upon a time from slavery in Egypt, and then the experience of revelation at Sinai is something that took some preparation. Just as we talked about the preparation required for Shabbat each and every week, that we need to kind of get ready for that, that maybe the Israelites needed to prepare a little bit too. Something huge and major had just happened to them. They had just witnessed a whole lot of miracles. All of the plagues, the sea splitting, all of these different things happening. You could imagine that maybe they were like, whoa, I need a minute before I can then kind of be ready to experience whatever I'm going to experience at Mount Sinai. So one, there's that kind of journey. For us, we can also think about ourselves in the same way. You know, we learn at Passover that we're supposed to put ourselves into the story, that it's us who were liberated from slavery, that it didn't happen to somebody else, that this is also our story. And so if it's our story, then that means that during Passover, we're encouraged to think about our own sense of freedom or our own sense of constriction. Mitzrayim is the narrow spaces. And so maybe there's some things that are kind of constricting us in our lives today. Maybe there's things that might feel a little tight or a little uncomfortable, something that maybe isn't serving us very well, and that we too want to try to journey away from that so that we can kind of open ourselves to experience whatever it is that comes next. For the Israelites, what they then experienced was the receiving of all of Torah at Sinai. For us, we may have different kinds of revelation that comes to us each and every day. And so maybe it's something that will happen at Shavuot when we get there, and that we need to kind of get ready and shake off the constriction and kind of open ourselves up to be ready. And I think there's also pieces of revelation that might be open to us each and every day if we allow ourselves to see that, if we allow ourselves to receive that. And so the counting of the Omer then serves as a little bit of a reminder of that. So the tradition is that every night, all we really have to do is say a little blessing and then say what the day is, and then you've done the mitzvah. Poof, very quick mitzvah, okay? You get like really fast mitzvah points for 7 weeks. But there's also a tradition to add, and the Kabbalists kind of invited us to think about these 7 weeks and these 7 days through the lens of the Sfirot, which are divine emanations of God. And so we can allow ourselves to be inspired by those emanations, to be able to maybe open our eyes to see them in the world, since there's plenty of times where there's things that are right in front of us that we do not notice. And maybe also to experience and notice those emanations in ourselves. And to maybe practice, if we need to, strengthening some of them, maybe tamp some of the other ones down, and to try to get into balance. So I want to invite you into this mitzvah together this evening, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the particular week and day that we're in now and how that might sort of inspire us to open our eyes to the different ways that we might experience divinity in the world. So there is a song that's really beautiful that was written by Shir Yaakov Zach Friedman and Rabbi Yosef Goldman. Actually, Shir Yaakov is also a rabbi that I will share with you. And at the beginning, before we do a mitzvah, we're supposed to get ready for it. So the same way that we have to kind of put the candlesticks in or get the Kiddush cup ready or get our talis ready before we say the blessing and put it on, we have to get ready for this too. And so the beginning here is kind of meant to ready ourselves to be able to count the Omer and to then kind of receive whatever that is in this day. Oh, that you're getting the Omer counter out? We found an Omer counter in the closet, and it's really cool. Wait till you see it. You never know what you're going to find in the closet here at BTBJ. Wait till you see it. It's really cool. I had turned it the other day when we were here for Yom HaShoah, but it probably needs to be turned again very carefully. We learned that it is very delicate, but old school technology, Shabbos friendly. Okay, so allow yourselves to get ready while I sing this, and if you'd like to join with me, if you start to catch on or you just want to hum along with the melody, I invite you to do that too. L'shem yichud kudsha brichu u'shchintei hineni muchanu mezuman lekayem mitzvah taseh Shel Sfirat HaOmer, Shel Sfirat HaOmer, Shel Sfirat HaOmer, Sheva Shabbatot, Temimot Tiena, Sheva Shabbatot, Temimot Tiena, Shel Sfirat HaOmer, Shel Sfirat HaOmer, Shel Sfirat HaOmer, Shel Sfirat HaOmer. Page 63. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer, al sfirat haomer, al sfirat haomer, al sfirat haomer. We're now on page 66, the second one down. Hayom Shisha Asar Yom Shehem Shnei Shavuot Ushnei Yamim LaOmer. Today is 16 days, which is 2 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. And so this week, you can see on the left-hand side of the page, this week we are in the week of Tiferet, which means splendor or beauty. And in the chart of Sfirot, it's often called a tree, and I guess because it sort of has a base and a top, and the base is sort of rooted down here, and the very top is sort of like the part of God that is sort of always beyond us. And so in the tree of the Sfirot, some of the Sfirot are kind of side by side, kind of in balance, like two different sides of a similar coin. And that's where we were for the last 2 weeks. We were in Chesed and we were in Gevurah, which are sort of two sides, loving kindness and strength. And we want those in balance because we want to make sure that we can protect ourselves and look out for others, and that we want to try to figure out how to keep those in balance. Tiferet is then in the middle. And so it's neither on the left nor the right, but it really then invites us into striving to create harmony and wholeness. So Rabbi Yael Levi writes about this week. The week of Tiferet and the new month of Iyar, which we are also celebrating today, Rosh Chodesh Iyar, they always arrive together. Tiferet brings the courage and vulnerability of an open heart. It offers beauty that breaks through with the spontaneity of magnificent design, the music of harmony, the insistence of truth. And Iyar is a month that shines with light, illuminating the sparks of divinity that weave and connect us all. Iyar brings healing. This month arrives with the acknowledgement that we will step into the unknown again and again. And as we do, the infinite presence is with us, guiding us for healing and love. My colleague, Rabbi Maurice Harris, writes about this particular day. So on this day, we're in the week of Tiferet, but the day of Gevurah. So it's like the intersection of splendor and strength. Beauty manifests as radiant energy bounded by structures. The energy pulses. The borders define. The formless energy follows the secret path of an encoded design within. The shape may change. May the energy of Tiferet unlock the beauty that surrounds us, and may healing and peace prevail. Amen. So we turn back now in our service to page 56, and I invite you to rise for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol l'atei kedula le'yotzer breshit shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We turn to page 58 for Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. And this week in our community, we observe the yard sites of Lorraine Barrell, Miriam Ruth Block, Mary Ruth Bowens, Louis Brillman, Molly Cohen, Benjamin Eisner, Saul Gitman, Nathaniel Harris, Dorothy Iglesias, Rose Jacobson, Ray Jacobson, Nathan Kagan, Ted Kaufman, Leslie Kaufman, Bessie Lampert, Fannie Miller, William Mishkin, Albert Schwartz, Helen Schwartz, Sandra Simon, Eleanor Stander, and Anna Weinstein. We also send our condolences to Michael Center and his family on the passing of his father, Howard Center. There are other names that folks would like to share of someone you're remembering today. I invite you to do so. Alexis?
Forgot to include my dad on this sheet, but his yard sign says Stephen Lane.
Marilyn Spencer and Helen Spencer.
Join together for Kaddish. Oh, sorry, yeah. Absolutely. We join together for Kaddish Yatom on page 58. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'yizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach li'olam alomei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'rechu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlomo rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all who dwell on earth. And we say together, amen. Before we conclude our service, I just want to say mazel tov to you, Abby. Thank you for helping to lead our service tonight and for hopefully getting a little warmed up for tomorrow morning. We will join back together at 9:30 for our Shabbat morning service, and we look forward to seeing you there, both in person and on live stream. And then there are lots more things coming up at BTBJ after that. On Sunday, I don't think it's too late. We're having a blood drive with Or Hadash. It will be at Or Hadash starting at 10 a.m., and it's all a part of the Israel 75 celebrations, and we're kind of engaging in different mitzvot around the community and around the city. So from 10 to 3, if you are eligible to give blood and that's something that you'd like to do, just look in your email or let us know and we can let you know how to get signed up. At 12:30 after Hebrew school on Sunday, we are continuing our mosaic project. There will soon be a beautiful mosaic as you drive in down our driveway. We were able to start making tiles over the last couple of months, and on Sunday we'll start painting them. So there will be pizza after religious school and some painting, so feel free to join us for that. And Monday night is a Sisterhood World Chocolate Day event. There will be making chocolates with Jody Peskin. It should be super fun. Apparently, we did this a few years ago. I was not there, but I hear it's delicious, and so please consider joining. Tuesday night, I'm teaching. Thursday night, Kendra Benjamin is teaching. There's always a lot happening. And the other thing that I will mention is that next Friday night, in addition to celebrating with Lily Goldstein on the eve of her becoming bat mitzvah, BTBJ is actually hosting a community Shabbat dinner in celebration of Israel 75. So this week is Yom HaTzmaut. We had Yom HaShoah, Israeli Remembrance Day last week. This week we have Yom HaTzmaut, or Yom HaZikaron, Israeli Remembrance Day, and then Yom HaTzmaut, Israeli Independence Day. And thank goodness Israel is here and turning 75. May she have a long, long life, and may we all be able to merit going there and enjoying all of the wonderful, wonderful and beautiful connections with history and the people who are there. But in celebration, we are hosting a dinner. So if you'd like to sign up, we'd love to have you. It's not just for the Goldstein family, though they'll be joining us as well. So just look out for your email and join us there. And there might be other folks from the community outside of BTBJ joining us as well. So we will conclude on page 75 with a blessing for all of us, followed by motzi. And every Friday night, there's a tradition of blessing our children with a priestly blessing. If you have children near you and you want to completely embarrass them and put your arms around them and give them hugs, feel free. If you have other loved ones that you want to think about and send blessings to, hold them in your mind and in your heart so that we can send these blessings. And it's just a beautiful opportunity to give blessings to one another. May God bless you and protect you. May God's face give light to you and show you favor. May God's face be lifted toward you and bestow upon you peace. And may it be God's will. Alex, you're blessed too, even if you're over there. Everyone gets blessed. Amen. Abby, can you come up and help lead us in Motzi before y'all head into dinner, which smells delicious? Go ahead. Amen. Could you take the challah and hand? Yeah, take that. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.